Good morning. It's the beginning of week 3 of our ADMN MEDU 543 course. It's Monday morning, and in Newburgh, it's clear, and the sun will be up in a few minutes, and it's going to be a great day, albeit maybe a little hot. Already taken the dog for a walk this morning, and I'll be heading back into my grading mode in a few minutes. I just want to give you a couple of updates and a little bit of encouragement. And the first thing to say is, as we transition from week 2 into week 3, this session is a 2-week session. So what that means is you will not have a learning log due until 2 weeks from yesterday. So I encourage you to kind of collect your thoughts and make observations and reflect on things that have happened over the next 2 weeks, and don't post that until towards the end of the next week. And believe it or not, when we get done with this session, we're about 2/3 of the way through the course. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Many of you are still wrapping up school years. Many of you are planning family time, and you're already deep into your graduate studies at Fox. And I thank you for the balancing act that you've performed in not only responding to individual responsibilities that are related to the course, but you've really seized the opportunity to get to know new colleagues, hopefully make new friends, and start doing great work together. So here's a few kind of reminders and announcements. First thing is, yesterday was the deadline for completing your school description and your character role descriptions. And I'll just lump those in with the professional development plans that you're working on as far as the kind of review and assessment of at the end of next week. Thank you for those of you that have asked for my input, and I appreciate the fact that you're digging deep to learn about these schools and the context in which they sit. I am in the midst of grading your learning logs from the end of session 2, and I hope to get those done by the end of the day Monday and get feedback out to you individually. Thirdly, we do have a couple of meetings coming up this week. On Wednesday morning, I'm going to do a kind of a help session on the capstone project for those of you that are interested. It's voluntary, of course, and I will record that so it will be available to you if you can't attend live. And I'll just be kind of giving a brief overview of the expectations of the project, entertaining questions, and hopefully calming anxiety about it. Some of you are concerned about word limits, and not on the short side, but on the long side, finding it difficult even in the learning logs to stay within my published range. And those are there both as guidance, because yes, I do believe that being able to concisely reflect and report is an important professional skill to have, but also for your own protection so you don't overdo it and try to turn these learning logs into a kind of an academic essay, which they're not intended to be. But you'll run into a similar difficulty when you're writing your capstone project, that you'll find that the word count is pretty tight, and some of you may have difficulty staying within the word counts. I'm not punitive on that. Please just do the best you can and use those constraints as guidelines. On Thursday evening, I've invited colleagues from the Oregon Department of Ed Equity Unit to join us, and they'll be speaking from their point of view about the equity considerations in helping all kids learn as we plan on reopening in the fall. Should be an interesting meeting, and maybe a completely different perspective than what we heard in the meeting with the Newburgh officials last week. And I encourage you to participate if you can, or watch the recording but you're certainly not obligated to be there. That might cover it. Oh, Father's Day. I hope you all had the opportunity to honor or be honored, or both, men that are important in your life. My dad died a long time ago, but I've got two sons that are fathers, and I was able to reach out to them and tell them I was proud of them and really appreciate them, and had my kids reach out to me. And my daughter Becky, who lives in Tualatin, went up to Fire on the Mountain, which is a wings place, and brought back wings for us to have for lunch yesterday. And that was a lot of fun. And it was a very kind gesture on her part, and just helped me to reflect on the fact that at 22, she and I have had a lot of disagreements. She was probably my most difficult child to raise. But at her core, she's a very loving person. And I'm so grateful for her and my other kids and the positive influence they've had on my life. And I certainly don't want to forget my wife in that either. If it wasn't for her and her patience and love over the years, I probably would have been a pretty lousy father. So I'm thankful for her too. And finally, I'm thankful for all of you. And I know this has been a different kind of an experience for you. And I know it's been challenging, at times frustrating, but I'm really amazed at the commitments you've made, at the dedication you've shown toward this course, the grace you've extended to one another as you've tried to learn your teammates and get together and put this big puzzle together that's still rather vague. And it's really admirable and actually remarkable. And I just trust that you're going to learn as much from the process of this course as you will the content, as you apply the frameworks to your work with your teammates, as you reflect on decision-making and start to apply those frameworks to issues and important decisions that are going on in your own organizations, that you're going to see that the process itself is kind of a formative opportunity for you. And I just encourage you to embrace that. So thank you for your attention this morning. I hope and pray you have a great day, and that you keep remembering that as you consider what's in the best interests of students, you also have to consider that to care for yourself is a legitimate and a very important thing that you need to do in order to be able to fulfill your responsibilities of care and fairness and instruction and guidance and all the important aspects and influences that you have in the lives of young people. So do take care of yourselves, please. I'll see you soon. Take care.